Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on board flight TM011. As we prepare for the takeoff, please fasten your seat belts, put your seats in an upright position, close overhead storage as we take you to the destination of independent thinking. Our runway critical thinking is always our best runway for this flight. And I have my co-pilot here, Hauser. Would you like to add or say anything, my brother, before we talk of, we inform them about what the flight is about today?
On light tips, yeah. We went again for the swinging, and I had to thrash my teacher once more. Yeah. So, but today was not quite a good session, because remember last week was did 8:42, if you remember. Today it's 42:44. So 42 for my side, and 44 for him, or 48. I can't remember very well. So the less the number, by the way, it means you're in a good game. Let me put it this way, just quick. There's 9 holes. So if you have to do one hole in one, you will have 9 balls. So each time you hit it, goes straight to that's hole in one. Right? It's like from the tee box straight to the hole. Yeah. Hole in one. So if you have to do a birdie, it means you must hit twice. You hit, it goes to the hole, and then you hit up, you putt again. That's a birdie. And then the par, it's 3 times. Yeah. And so forth and so on. So the more you try to get to the hole, you have more opportunities to hit. You have more balls to hit. So the number becomes higher. Do you get it? So the lesser the number.
It sounds like a physical but also mental sport. It's not just.
Yeah, there is some interesting stuff about it. Yeah, but I'm just saying, if I mention that we did 9 hole and we did 40 plus balls, like in my case 44, 48, 42, 48. So it means we had like almost 6, 7 tries in each hole, averagely. 4 or 5 tries in each hole. But if I say to you, 30, let's say 27, so it means I was hitting birdies. I was hitting 2 chances for each hole.
So
it becomes 9 times 2, it's 27.
So it means, basically, the way I understand it, if you have if the score is lesser,
if the number
of the balls is
attempts to put inside the hole,
if the number is lesser,
it's a good game.
Then it means the good game.
Yeah.
Okay.
The higher the number.
The higher the number, then it means
it's bad, worse.
Yeah, you're still polishing the skills.
Yeah, or you had a bad day.
Or you had a bad day.
Yeah.
Depending. Okay.
So, but anyway, that's that.
Sounds very interesting. I think
before I came here.
Yeah. You went for
9 o'clock Thatchfield. 9 to 10, 9 to 10 maybe.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, maybe we should go.
I think we should go at some point. Yeah. So I have to buy my own kit.
We can still. I started by borrowing or renting.
Or you can rent.
Yeah, you just don't
on
need.
the day.
The club has how many? There's multiple stakes. You need probably in 100 or 60, less than 100. You need just a part or an S stake. You don't need that huge one to drive balls even 200 and whatnot. So we need to drive before we go to the holes. Yeah. Just to learn to get the ball in mid-air or up in the air and still.
Yeah, no, we must do it. We must do it.
Yeah, that's on a light note.
On a light note. But nonetheless, a very interesting flight today. We are talking about how bad is alcohol affecting our black society. We are bringing it home, guys. It's very important, and this is an issue which needs to be addressed, because the snowball effects of this particular topic, it's actually, the effects are very bad. Yeah. And it goes a long way. It's a generational thing which needs to be addressed. But nonetheless, we will give you our views, and then hopefully we'll do justice to it today. And let's get on it, my brother. Let's just get on it straight away.
Yeah, another thing maybe to add. Can I propose that we 1 minute pitch? Because you are drinking and I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
So in 1 minute pitch, you probably state your reason why you still feel you need to continue drinking and you are comfortable.
It's not a bad suggestion.
And in 1 minute pitch, I will then say why I decided to stop drinking alcohol.
You know, it's not a bad idea actually.
Yeah. So that's basically that. And then my structure is this. I want us to look into history.
Yes.
Just how alcohol maybe got or was introduced to our black society.
Okay.
Yeah, just lightly so, you know, not quite in depth. And then look at the gateway. Gateway, I mean how it was introduced and how the culture evolved in association with alcohol.
Okay, quite interesting because it does not clash with my approach. My approach is on social effects, economic impact and health consequences.
Yeah.
So I think
just to add on my side, it was just the history, the evolving culture with alcohol, and then the business aspects of alcohol,
okay,
which is part of what you're going to tackle. So that I want us to at least
not repeat the same facts.
Yeah, no. In fact, complement each other. So when we touch, for example, on alcohol business, we will then deal with that so that we don't zigzag a lot.
Okay.
That's why I'm disclosing the structure. And then we go to the damages, which is the heartbeat of this thing. And then we go to the desktop aspects number 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the history. So do you have anything around the history? How?
Yes. The little I know about the history is that when black people were directed to live in one area, right, and be away from the city, there were a lot of bottle stores within that community in order for the people who are in power to stay dominant of the laborers.
Yeah, that's now in the recent time. This is now in the mid or late 1900s. You see?
Yes, I didn't go beyond apartheid.
Yeah.
Did you go beyond apartheid?
Yeah, 17th, 19th century, the wine growing, which came, the wine aspect that came with
colonialism,
colonial settlement.
Okay.
Yeah, so this.
All right. I think maybe you should start because you have taken it far behind, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I will.
It's part of what you know, but not maybe brought in for your discussion. But definitely, you know what. Let's take for an example those that moved from Netherlands, because those are the guys that we and Van der Beek and them came here. So they would bring these barrels.
Yes.
That will be fermenting the alcohol on their journey.
On their journey.
To come in, because it could take a month or 2 or so, even more, for their voyage.
Okay.
To go around the Atlantic up to the Cape Peninsula or Cape Apex.
So they needed to be drunk to deal with the challenge of.
We are going there. We are going there, fortunately, but. We said the wine came with the ship, but I can believe that we did ferment.
Before them?
Yeah, I mean, the Khoisan, they did ferment.
Yeah,
I mean, the soya.
Look, there's a lot of things that were existing before they came in, which we are not told about. This is one of the issues.
Yeah, we did ferment. So we were in, and maybe we were more into psychedelics. Which is your ranges of mushrooms, the other type of altering behavior altering substances.
Yeah,
the alcohol does that, but your cannabis, you know,
yes,
Zolo,
yeah,
and also mushrooms and other I forgot the
ingredients.
Yeah, the group. Is it psychedelics or something? I must just look. I will look it up. The name, yeah, but we were maybe strong into that far more than the liquid aspect.
So it was more organic.
Yeah, it was. I mean, for to alter your behavior.
Yeah.
For escapism, right? Then it moved to more formalizing alcohol into what we know as beer, wine, more than ways of fermenting wine.
Yes.
You know, and the ciders, apple came into picture to be also fermented for alcohol reasons, right? And then if you come into the 1900s, now early, it was then coming into our black communities, colored communities as shebins.
Yes.
And what we are calling shebin.
There were shebin queens, and yeah,
it was mostly women who were driving, fun enough, who were driving
the alcohol movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
as business.
As business, I remember. I mean, lapha eKaslethu kunendawo besithi kuwadora.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Before
ladies,
it was the ladies.
Yeah, ladies were in the forefront, and it was for survival, and it was socio-economic stresses.
Yeah,
that led them to really jump into that. For whatever reasons, I'm not sure why women were mostly stronger than Amajita into maybe because they were not, ladies would probably not be the ones drinking, they would be serving. And you know where it comes from. In the American lifestyle, you would have a barman of an outing part. The establishment is run by women because of prostitution aspect as well.
And also, there's that aspect ukuthi most males were redirected to go and work, and women had time. They were left behind, so they were limited to things that they could engage in terms of business.
Yes, it was that aspect that they had time on their hands to organize the shippings.
Yes.
And in American part, it was also to manage also the prostitution aspect. As a diversification of the business.
You can't
make the boys drunk.
You can't make them drunk and not give some. You can't.
And service them.
These things go together.
Yeah, so when you go to mines and go work, you come stressed from just the hard working aspect of it. So the distressing aspect is alcohol and getting laid.
Yes. Those two go
hand in hand.
They go hand in hand. Even to date, you can't separate the two.
Which now it comes, now if we have to move, I'm also clubbing in the evolution, maybe a culture. Because when we say culture, let's again, if you allow me, to amplify in our culture. There's a culture that belongs to an ethnical sort of type of group. Like, let's say a culture that belongs to Zulus.
Okay.
And there's a culture that belongs to a certain subgroup of denominator of Zulus. Right? And they've got their own cultures. And then you go outside of the Ngunis will have their culture. And then you mix them with then other black groups, Sutus, Tswanas. Together we have a culture. Culture meaning it's a way of life.
Yes.
Right? It's what you do almost every day. It's the type of celebrations you would formally consider, rite of passages,
the type of food, music as well,
and poetry.
That diversity is actually very healthy. The diversity of different cultures in one space. It's good. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. Maybe we should put that as one of the topics, which is how does cultural diversity benefit society?
Diversity. I like that topic. Diversity, culture.
Yeah, cultural diversity. Yeah. We'll find a nice way to pitch it.
Yeah, that's a nice one. And then moving from blacks, you then go to whites. Whites have their own cultures. Indians. I'm talking about the top four groups in South Africa. And then when you put us together nationally, we've got our culture, South Africans now.
Yes. With mixed cultures.
Yeah, with mixed subcultures.
Yeah, subcultures.
Yeah. But then we have our own norms and way of doing things as South Africans. So that's what I was trying to amplify in a culture. There was a part of it that it evolved.
Okay.
Right? From rural to townships, townships to suburbs, and a mix and a hybrid of the three.
Yeah.
While we were still in the rural areas, there was an interaction that we had with alcohol, which is the one that is brewed, sorghum yeast type of alcohol. And then we moved into townships, we then introduced to this modern type of alcohol, which is bottled, boxed.
So alcohol on its own, basically, it's also evolving with the...
It involves in its, I'm not sure if it's potency, pure alcohol content, and its flavors.
Yeah, I think the evolution of
and even in category of wine, beer, cider.
Yeah, I think the most evolution I have picked up, it's firstly the branding. Because the marketing, there's a lot of money that is invested in the marketing so that the products can be sold.
Yeah.
But there is not much invested in the quality of whatever type of alcohol. Like for example, you have a minority of people who are affording, so you can't invest more on costly alcohol. You will invest more on cost-effective alcohol.
Yes.
Because the majority, the majority are people who are not in a better position of affordability.
Yeah, because we spectrum, if you like, of alcohol production. You have your sorghum type all the way to your champagne.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that distinction, it's right and wrong at the same time.
Yeah, look, it is. There is that element of you can talk about its the wrong aspects, you can talk about its positive or negative aspects. Yeah. But the evolution, remember, alcohol in our society has a lot also to do with social status. Right?
Yes.
Apart from escapism, let's say there are 4 or 5 reasons for people to consume alcohol. Culturally, like in my case, I remember growing up early or in my early teens, right? When it comes to babies and when festive season,
yes,
we saw it as a culture to consume alcohol. Even I remember my mom was not.
Yeah, everyone is happy that
during that period they would buy some Manhattan, which was wine champagne mix, and then they would drink it, and it would happen another year. As you realize, but now you would want to subscribe to it. You think it's
the culture.
It's a right way to do things.
It's the right way to do things.
It's a normal. It has been normalized.
Yeah.
So with that normality, what I want to get to is that it's the gateway. Remember, I spoke of the gateway. How do we get introduced to alcohol?
Okay.
It could be that mostly through culture. You are introduced to alcohol through culture, which is typical activities that will happen annually.
Okay.
And then over and above, you then get into the level of addiction, because alcohol is highly addictive.
Yes.
Right? And then you will also realize that as you grow, you then get yourself into the arena of being an adult, which is stressful. And as escapism and managing stress, alcohol has its own way to numb.
To numb the stress.
The stress is there.
Okay, can I mention something on social effects now that you have mentioned the gateway? Because I think the gateway is part of the social effects which I wanted to
negative impact,
to address. You know, there is a common factor of broken families. There's a common factor socially of GBV socially. There's a common factor of misguided youth. There's a common factor of a loss of dignity, which is a negative effect of the alcohol socially. When you are under the influence, there are certain capabilities that...
Intellectual and otherwise.
Yeah, there are certain capabilities that are triggered by the effect of the alcohol.
Or affected.
Yes.
Capabilities that are affected. Maybe because that's our bread and butter, if you allow me,
yeah.
I wanted us to first look who's the consumer into these four groups: black, whites, Indian, and coloreds.
Okay.
And who's the
so you want us to address the social
business,
part
the business, the business
the
part.
different cultures.
I want us to talk to the business part so that when we go to the heartbeat of today's discussion, we can just immerse ourselves as and how.
Okay. In my view, we're going to focus on, you said the main four,
Yeah.
The blacks, the Indians, the coloreds, and the whites.
Yeah.
Right. The consumption of alcohol.
Business first, maybe.
Business.
Yeah, let's talk business. Do you know the size, the market size of the alcohol? In terms of money?
The business part of alcohol has been centralized to a certain nation. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
You don't have anything that can be compared to macro in terms of alcohol supply.
Yeah.
to everyone, blacks, whites, Indians, and coloreds, or everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's a market that has a lot of money.
As a number, 175 billion. That was in 2024.
You see,
It's a market. Let's say it's a market.
so it's
almost 200. Almost 200.
Yeah, it's
200 billion.
The revenue is above $1 billion. The rotational revenue is above $1 billion on alcohol.
Let's say 200 billion.
Let's say 200. Yeah, plus minus 200 billion. Now it's dominated by certain race. I don't want to be more specific on the racial
Let's
issues.
go there. That's the point. I want us to go there.
Okay, anyway, it's obvious. It's dominated by the whites.
Yeah, which is, come to think of it, is like we have South African breweries.
SAB,
Who
yes.
owns SAB? Who owns SAB?
It's definitely not a black man.
Yeah. AB in Bev, Heineken Distill, yeah.
None of those suppliers
Major
players
in the alcohol business.
I don't know a black person that owns. I don't know a black person who is a major player or a major shareholder in that industry.
Yeah.
So that should tell you something.
Yeah, maybe we need to research that so that
we'll do our research on that.
But by and large, white folks are benefiting from this business called alcohol.
Big time.
Even multinationals, MNEs, the multinational enterprises are actually taking the larger share.
And it's not only a South African challenge; it's a universal existence.
Yeah.
Even in Europe.
Yes.
I forgot the name of this company that was in
partnership.
That was in partnership. Yes, with Puff Daddy. Okay, we'll get the name. They produce vodka Universal.
Yeah. I think
I forgot the name, man. But anyway, the dominance of whites in the alcohol industry is a universal challenge. It's not only a South African challenge. So now, the consumers of this alcohol, the people who consume more are not the people who are in charge.
You know what I can also attest to in them not being in charge? You go to ownership levels of alcohol, right?
Mm-hmm.
All this vis-a-vis consumption, by the way. You go to the ownership, you go to the management structures, and then also go to the suppliers, beneficiation.
Mm.
Those that supply these multi-corporates or these corporates,
Yeah.
From paper to toiletry to even the core business aspect, bottling,
branding.
I don't think we have a bigger share.
No, we don't.
So we only support all this value chain by just consuming.
So I want to give you a very perfect example that will help you understand my logic and my interpretation. In your own house, right? As the father of the house, you buy the grocery, you do whatever you do in terms of food. My example is provision of food. If you're in a position of having enough food visibly, consumption and choice, you are not going to be consuming too much food because the more you see it, it's in abundance.
Yeah.
Instead, what you do is you will have more choices on what you choose to eat.
Yeah.
You will choose the top of the range.
Yeah.
Because you have that.
That will keep you healthy. That will
keep you healthy. You will focus more
that
on.
will keep you full.
You know,
with very little.
Exactly. You will focus on the food that is specifically good for your body because you don't have a problem of availability and the abundance of the food. It's the same logic with alcohol.
When you operate from a scarcity mentality.
Yes, it's a scarcity mentality. Thank you. I like that. SM, it's an SM, I'll remember. The scarcity mentality is what is affecting our black people.
Yeah.
Uguti, the alcohol for them is not something that is in their house as part of the grocery that is always there. They don't have enough space to build bars so that the consumption is done in a specific area, you know. So the scarcity mentality is that when you get an opportunity to consume,
you want to do it, you binge. Here's the thing, right? While we are talking of what are the reasons for us to consume, because we can attest that we are going to verify it on desktop that colors, as they are 8.2%, right, with population, they are the most ones who binge alcohol. And fatal alcohol, I think, spectrum disorder affects colored population in the world. I mean, more than anyone in the world. Let us explain it. FASD, right? It's a spectrum of sicknesses or diseases or disabilities that comes as a result of alcohol.
Okay.
Right? Spectrum meaning from even childbirth disabilities. That could be because of the parent were drinking and then you pass on. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, so the FASD, FASD or whatever, I don't know, I'm trying to make it short. It's there to all the non-communicable diseases, which is your livers and whatnot. It's that spectrum.
So the health consequence is more on the colored
communities in the world.
In the world.
Yeah, not only in South Africa. They are the ones that consume more in terms of per capita, right? Let's start here. We've got countries that perform. We are not in top 10. There are countries that Germany is part of them in the top 10. We're going to deal with that in the desktop. We are in the top 20, averaging at, I think, 14.3, if not 11 or something, between the liters per capita. Meaning, if we take all the alcohols in all their forms and shape and put them in one pot, total liters drank annually in South Africa, right? Total liters, whatever amount of liters, we divide it by anyone age 15 and over, right? It becomes then per capita. So it means everyone will consume about 11.3 liters annually per individual. So that's the measurement. So the more the number, it means the more consumption you are facing as a country. That's the measurement. I'm just showing you the measuring tool or the gauge.
Look, you are going very deep and it's making sense. Now you have triggered something with that deepness that you are mentioning, because now when you say coloreds, they consume more alcohol as compared to
blacks in South Africa. Blacks are the second, and then whites.
So nationally and universal.
Yeah. Universally, there are people that consume them more than.
Okay, let's say national.
Yeah,
let's say national.
Let me put a disclaimer. The disorder that I'm talking about, FASD syndrome, affects colored people more than any nation in the world. But there are nations that drink far more than them. So the problem with our fellow coloreds is the binging aspect. Binging is drinking too much in a short space of time.
Okay, on that issue, there is a preventative maintenance, which is something that a lot of people do not understand when it comes with alcohol consumption. Your stomach, or your stomach,
body tolerance, alcohol body tolerance.
Your stomach is not meant to absorb alcohol directly without any food inside it.
Yeah.
Yes, the chemical digestion it's not meant to handle alcohol. So the damage that alcohol does to your stomach when it's empty, it's actually a snowball effect of this problem that you're mentioning now.
Yeah.
So people don't understand that actually alcohol on its own, in moderation, does not have that much damage. If you eat solid food before you drink alcohol,
yeah, you've got a point.
Yeah, when you drink, if you can make it a principle that eat solid food before engaging into any alcohol activity across the board, whether it's beer, wine, whiskey, gin, or whatever it may be, any form of alcohol that is consumed on an empty stomach, it's got very, very bad after effects.
To amplify your point is that when you binge, the Germans also binge, but their economy or socio-economic aspects, it's better off because they will then go and eat proper food to counter.
You know, speaking of Germans, I have...
Yeah, wait, let me finish your point.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to say, just hold on to the thought.
Okay, I'm holding it.
The less healthy foods you want to put into your stomach to nourish your body, the more alcohol is going to destroy you. That's the point that you were trying to make initially. Right? I know you are ahead now, you're thinking of something else.
Okay.
That's why it's just...
No, I'm still there. I'm still there.
With an empty stomach, with less nutrients, the alcohol, because the body is not meant to digest it, it will then go straight and be raw and deal with your body.
Yes.
Directly. And the level at which it's going to do, it's going to be high. And the speed, the time frame.
And I'm not mentioning the health level of the food consumption.
Yeah.
Just food, the presence of food. It can be junk.
Yeah.
But the presence of food then redirects the absorption from direct suction of alcohol into the...
A simple way, it cushions then the severity.
Thank you.
Yeah. So then we were saying, just for us to be structured back to the stem, is that there are reasons why we drink as much as we do. Right? Mm-hmm. Before we get to the damages, why does this thing damages us this much, the alcohol, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason of socio-economic stresses. The reason why we drink is that if you go back to our history, that we would work and come back and numb. Mm. And then while you are thinking you are numbing, you are getting addicted because alcohol is highly addictive as a substance. Mm-hmm. And the more you get addicted to it, it then starts becoming an escapism. So you're not only numbing yourself from probably the hard work that you have exposed yourself from, you are numbing yourself from just life in general. Life is tough. Some of you must wear helmets. That's how tough life is. Life is just generally
steel
tough.
Helmets.
Yeah.
Not plastic.
Yeah. Involves cushions.
Yes.
Steel.
Yeah.
But the point is, we get into this perpetual cycle, right? Because of the toughness of life, which by and large is created. It goes back to the poverty because of design or systematic failure. Yes. So once you are at a certain level of food chain, right, alcohol becomes your friend. And there's a scripture in the Bible that says there must be people that must be allowed to drink alcohol because of their level of stress. I will look for the scripture.
I would like to know it.
I will look for the scripture.
I would like to know
Again, there are chemical aspects that happens into our body. There's 3 happy chemicals. They call them 3 happy chemicals, which is endorphin, serotonin, and also dopamine.
Yes,
right?
I know dopamine.
Yeah. So when you drink alcohol, you secrete these things, and then the dopamine deals with the reward and motivation.
Okay.
Right. For an example, if you get into sexual intercourse, after ejaculation, dopamine will be secreted in your body. It feels like you are rewarded. When you are hungry, or not even hungry, when you make friendship with food, an unhealthy friendship with food, as and when you eat, you feel rewarded.
Yes.
And there's a several motivation. That's when your dopamine is there. And your serotonin, it's mood stabilizer and confidence.
Okay.
So when you drink and go, some people drink because they have social, what you call it, awkwardness. Yeah. Socially awkwardness. General people have that, by the way. That's why when you go to the shisha nyamas and the pubs and whatnot, people want to drink so that they can
socialize.
For you to get laid properly, try this.
Yeah,
try this. If you want to get laid on a frequent basis, try and do it without alcohol and see your success levels. They will drop drastically. The reason why your success levels are high is because of the serotonin.
It stimulates a certain.
It stabilizes your moods. It neutralizes your anxiety. You can be able to talk.
You're confident. Yes.
It's on point.
Goes high.
Yes. So also,
very true.
Apart from surviving economically, there's chemical issues that are going on in the system, and that's why we have a relationship that is unbreakable with alcohol.
You know, alcohol has this tendency of the ability to make you forget about what you don't want to think at that particular time.
Numbs the anxiety and the pressure. Temporarily. Yes. You were saying?
So now you've addressed the health consequences, I think.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes.
And we've addressed the social effects. Can we go into the economic impact, or maybe address the social effects more? No, I think we've addressed the social effects.
Yeah, not in depth.
Not in depth.
We still got to talk about. I want to talk about how the layers in which the involvement or the association with alcohol affects. There's the family level, nuclear level, family. How it will then affect your family. How it will affect your community, their society, then the nation, as in South Africans.
Okay.
Let's go to the family if you don't mind.
Yeah, you can address the family part, it's fine.
The family part is that, let's say you are a father and you are the pillar of the household and you have a bad relationship with alcohol. And maybe your IQ even is compromised, because once you take a very compromised IQ and you put in alcohol,
that's a recipe for disaster. Yeah, definitely.
Well, if also your EQ, your emotional intelligence, now it's questionable. You bring alcohol, and if you have both these issues compromised in you as a person, you have a problem with alcohol.
That's when you have both at the same time.
Low EQ, low IQ.
There is no right decision that would be made out of that.
Going to the family, then let's say you are a father and you are just average in both, right? Then we bring alcohol. Your insecurities will skyrocket. Your temper issues will be problematic. Your judgment, your economic, your management of finances will be compromised, right? And your value inside the household will be compromised. So you won't raise a strong and competitive sort of kids or household in a way. So the household will be compromised.
That is for sure. And once the household is
divorce will come in.
Then there's
mental issues.
There's a lot that comes in. As you've mentioned, the divorce, and in addition to that, there is one
fragmentation of the family.
There is one other major important outcome of that, is that the effect is not internal. Then the effect now starts spreading out like a virus.
I said the layer. Yeah. We move from the family. If the family is compromised, Umzwa Kimbuli has a good poetry about it's the same thing. You have in one street of maybe 20 households, right? Starting to see one, maybe 10 this side, 10 that side. You have 80% or 70% of their families who have this kind of a father or mother right? So these people have to go outside of their household and then or gather from a society, from a community perspective or point of view. Then they will gather together, they will go to a shipping now. They will feed each other poison. Right?
Yes.
Whatever that they will analyze, whether it's politics, whether it's soccer, whether it's life in general, whether it's spirituality, right? They will not give each other the right information for them to develop and become better individuals. So when you're sitting in a shipping, you are sitting with people who are emotionally and intellectually compromised, and they're taking alcohol. You will fall into the same category as theirs, and you guys are going to be in a perpetual decline of influence amongst yourselves.
There is another important part.
That's society.
No, on your point.
Yeah.
No, community.
Yeah.
On your point, there is a situation whereby you have some individuals who are, their consciousness level is higher than the other in the very same environment, and they are able to know when to go there, what to drink and how much of it they must drink, and when to leave. Those people, they are there. Let me finish. Yes. Yeah, let me finish. And it's so unfortunate that those people who have that ability to reason and understand why they needed the consumption are in a small number. They are minimal. So imagine a situation whereby that consciousness is elevated to a point where at least 60% of the black population are in that consciousness of understanding. Okay, go ahead. If we could have a 60%, I'm just making an example, that a 60% of that kind of consciousness would eliminate so many distractions and problems and negative effects to what we have currently. Look, the example that you're making, the number is way too small. It's insignificant to even consider as a positive. Because here's the thing, two things happen to those people. Over time, the environment swallows them. They tend to fall. It's either they realize and know when to and then pull out. You can never stay there forever and survive. Never. It's impossible. Yeah, well, I guess... let me make an example. All right. It was cited, Ugutu Utsunyahai had that kind of mentality. The actor. Here's how I can support. I don't know the guy. He was never my friend. But here's how I'm supporting my view. But he... Meaning, if he had to go to the shadiest places ever, he would go there and drink. Fast forward, some say that space killed him. That's why it is difficult for you to survive. You can be smart enough to know when to go there and how much of what you need to really expose yourself. But okay, it's a different point. That's not what we are discussing. Being there forever, are you going to survive or not? But my advice, don't even try and think you will be impermeable for things that are happening there not to penetrate you and destroy you. They are going to do that by and large. You are 1 in a million and you don't necessarily change the general perception about the environment that it will pull you down if you are there. Even if you will survive for 40 years, 50 years, it's fine. But the number is way too little and insignificant to even consider. But nonetheless, is that when you then allow culture based on your environment, depending where you are, sometimes you cannot afford to go somewhere else. You need to make choices of either find something else to numb your socio-economic stresses. Right? If you battle, you will then find yourself into this kind of shebangings, and maybe your IQ is polished naturally. Okay. Right? Naturally, you didn't have to go to a special school or anything like that. You just have a gift to see things differently than the general mass. Right? The best to put up. But anyway, furthermore is that
if you take yourself out of the community and we go into workspaces, now we go nationally, we need to then mix in the offices, and you are mixing with people who have an alcoholic problem, right? They will then compromise us in reasoning, right?
Yeah, they're not as productive.
They're not productive, one.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. So we get ourselves being compromised because they are not effective on Mondays. They're not productive on Mondays.
Because of the Sunday session.
And they are also, you lose time on Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday by entertaining or making room for numbing yourself, which we called is it fun time or what would you call it? The reason why you are drinking is because you want to have fun, ain't it?
No, I've elevated.
But generally speaking, generally speaking is like you want to have fun. For the reasons of fun, you won't have these people to go and plan with them on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They are out. So 3 days that you lose from them in a year, it's a lot. In 10 years, it's a lot. It almost comes to 2 years or a year in total. So all I'm saying is that you tend to have people who are less productive from a national view, a point of view, right?
Yeah.
And much of the accident that you'll find on the streets are contributed by people who were
drunk, they're not in control,
who are tainted with
the moving object,
with alcohol.
Yeah, look, I agree with you on the negative impacts of alcohol, as you have mentioned that it has a high outcome of negative impact. Societally, economically,
from an individual,
emotionally, yes. Physically, the negative effects are high of alcohol,
yes,
if it's not done in moderation and properly. So where I want to come in is that I'm seeing a bigger problem. Alcohol is not a problem. The problem is not alcohol, in my view. The problem, in my view, is the awareness and the consciousness of what needs to be done right without being told or monitored. I'll give you an example. You are stressed financially, emotionally, your wife is stressed, your kids are stressing you. So you are in a position of stress, right? When you are in a position of awareness and consciousness, right, and understanding yourself and what needs to be done without being told and monitored, and the introspection that will be involved in order for you to come up with a good solution, right, and the ability to be able to be with yourself. You can drink alcohol on your own. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens. So the inability of the consciousness then kicks in all these negative elements. So when you are conscious and you know what needs to happen, I cannot use alcohol as a permanent solution to an environment that does not require a temporal injection of solution. You can only inject alcohol or use alcohol for its purpose. This is a temporal measure. You can use that temporal measure as a form of recharging. This is someone who's in a position of awareness. At the end of the day, I will use this temporarily, and after this temporal measure, this is my takeoff point. I'm going to face the challenge on a sober mind and plan and strategize and come up with possible solutions to whatever challenge we have. So in most cases, according to with the research I've made, in most cases, people who go to the extreme level of the negative effects are people who are not informed, are people who are not exposed, are people who are afraid of facing their problems, the reality of the problems, and come up with possible solutions, or consult with the right people who can give you advice on possible solutions if you don't have. for an example, mentorship is lacking in the black society as a whole. So, hence I'm saying the problem is not alcohol. The negative effect that alcohol has on black people is that the consciousness is lacking within the society of black people.
Yeah.
It's lacking big time.
But in addition is that, I don't want us to labor on this point, is that few people have self-control. I could safely say 1 out of 10. In every 10 people, there's one that has self-control.
Yeah, Pela, remember, self-control is a trait.
Yeah,
it's something you can
first.
acquire.
Yeah, hear me first.
All right?
Hear me first. I'm building to a point.
All right.
So, I'm coming to a point where alcohol is not a problem. If I know what in America, they say guns are not a problem. It's the behavior of people towards guns that's a problem. Right?
Which is true.
But now, there's a counter-argument to that. With the countries that have regulations of guns, have less issues that are faced by America.
Thank you. You just mentioned something very important.
Yeah,
regulation.
Yeah, here's what I'm saying. So when it's regulated, it's taken out for easy access. You can. So if you make it difficult for people to access alcohol, you will have less issues that we've mentioned with society for those that have a problem. The best person to articulate this, I might struggle to put it into perspective, correct? If you go to James Clear, the author Atomic Habits,
yeah,
he speaks about if you want to deal with changing your habits, right? Apart from compounding them, you need to change your environment, right? Meaning environment must have less of what tempts you. So if you want to deal with food issues, you must have less food only. If you don't want to drink Coca-Cola, it must not be in your fridge. It must
not be in your fridge.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is, I agree with you 100%.
So the bridge between what we are saying, that there are situations where you would say, alcohol is not a problem. We can buy it in abundance and still don't drink it, and drink it as and when we have visitors. Like in my case, I buy alcohol, and whereas and when visitors, I don't drink it. I serve those that I know they enjoy indulging with alcohol.
And you do that by choice, right?
It's self-control.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Not everyone subscribe to that.
Of course.
Way of behavior. So in a society, you want to first manage those that have habits and their habits are negative, and remove alcohol or make it difficult for the access of alcohol, make it expensive or something like that. But we're not coming to solutions. And I'm not contesting your point. I was just adding there's a spectrum in what me and you are saying, in what you are saying and what I'm saying.
Yes.
You can keep it and expect people to self-control. You can then take it out of the shelves to then usher people into a new way of doing things. That's a different point altogether. That's not necessarily our point. It's a side sort of.
Yeah, man. The availability of alcohol is too democratic. It requires too much. The access is too much.
Yeah.
It's in abundance.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily so. And I agree with your point.
Yeah.
That the scarcity of something you are trying to minimize will help you to move to the other level. By default.
Yeah.
You know, so we both agree that the availability of the access to alcohol is easy and is in abundance.
Yeah.
In our black society,
yeah.
Which is a major problem that is affecting a lot of other things. Well,
yes, this, by the way, the Proverbs 31 verse 6 to 7, I think it's the one that talks about so they can forget their misery.
Proverbs 31.
It says, which says to give strong, it says to give strong drink to the perishing, and wine to those in bitter distress, to say where so they can. Yeah.
Oh.
Which it's Proverb 31 verse 6 to 7.
The Proverbs 31, chapter 31, verse
3 to 7.
Verse 3 to 7. Okay.
Yeah. Give strong drink to the perishing, and give strong drink to the perishing, and wine to those in bitter distress. Right? So they can forget their misery.
Yeah, look, I'm sure we can also agree that when you are under a lot of stress,
I agree.
when you're under a lot of stress, there is something that alcohol does which will assist you to cope at that particular. It's a temporary solution.
Yeah, not a permanent.
It's not a permanent solution.
Yeah, but I was saying, if Bible has verses that promotes whining, alcohol. As means to, in this case, to distress.
Back to my point that the negative effects of alcohol are linked to something else.
Far more than.
They are linked to something else. It's not
far deep. Far
deeper. If you look deeper, then you'll realize that alcohol on its own, or in moderation, the consumption of alcohol in moderation does not have the negative impacts that it has when it's not done in moderation. Like, for an example, easy access and binging and cheap costs of alcohol. They have a negative impact to the society. So now,
and body and low
and your physical, your health, your health will obviously have negative consequences as well. So I think we agree in different ways that the problem is bigger than the alcohol itself.
Yeah.
When we look on the stats and all the facts and the points that you have mentioned. So I don't know now if we can go to the economical part. Oh, we've touched
there.
I think we've touched on the economical part.
We can do the desktop.
Yeah, let's do but we've never spoken about possible solutions.
We did not discuss, we were not intending to talk about solutions.
But we have to touch on solutions because our topic is saying, how bad?
We're answering how bad. We're not suggesting.
How bad is it affecting? Then we must come up with possible solutions, even if it's 2 or 3.
You are thinking about it, you are making this rule as you go along, which is not a bad thing. We are not subscribing to anything, but we as we always do, we don't suggest solution not unless we were discussing something to provide our own take. Remember, there was a destination that we said it will be nice not only to look at what the problems are and how they come together, but also we need to come back for it. There's an episode that we wanted to come for it, just to bring solutions, our suggestions.
The class, the grade class, where we I understand.
But the point I'm making is that there's no preparations to provide solution. It's just to answer the question: how bad do we think the alcohol is affecting us?
Okay, I think, sorry to cut you off, man. My apologies. I don't want to lose my chain of thought. I will mention my point on my 1 minute because there was a point I wanted to raise. So
you can raise your point because on the 1 minute you must explain why do you drink.
Yeah, my point. Okay. My point is that we need to make more efforts as individuals to trigger the consciousness that is necessary for us to do right without being told and monitored. I have picked up that a majority of our black society have a lot of negative things on things that are not necessarily negative, but because the inability to do right without being told or monitored affects us, even in corporates. Look at corporate. If you are a manager or you are an employee, you are supposed to be, for example, you are a teller. If you can do right without, you can do your stock take, your cash flow, and you can do all the necessary duties without being told what to do and without being monitored. Yeah, my point is the ability to do right without being told and monitored minimizes negative effects to the things that you are going to either consume or your duties or your responsibility. It actually minimizes negative effects on the outcome.
Okay.
That was my point. Which, if as a black society, we are so far behind not to make extra efforts on consciousness.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, well, we are so far behind. So if individuals, we can make extra efforts as individuals to do right in whatever space you are in. Make sure that you do right without being told and monitored. That will put you in a level whereby now you are improving and you are minimizing negative effects of the outcome.
Yeah, no, you just almost drew me to the attitude of providing solutions. So I'm trying to restrict myself.
Okay.
Yeah, because now I feel with you, there's a lot of work that we need to do.
There is a lot.
Maybe that's my take home. Let me reserve my take. Let me reserve it for my take home.
Right.
Yeah, I'll reserve that so that I have something substantive
to mention. Yeah.
The take home. So we can go to our desktop.
Yeah, let's go to the desktop as per usual.
Yeah, it desktop here too, guys, is in two parts. Eh? The first part are studies, right? That talks about, that I think I would prescribe for you to read, that talks to, mostly some of them talk to the fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, things that they wrote about rates in South Africa, right? It's a review summaries in essay studies, Olivia L. Maybe et al. From a research perspective,
yeah,
end them like
we and Abanye.
Yeah. I think it's a I'm not sure if it's a et al. What language is that?
Et al. Sounds Italian or Greek.
Italian, Greek. Yeah, somewhere there.
Somewhere there.
Yeah, because our legal feature is Roman Dutch.
Roman Dutch.
Yeah, Roman is Italian.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then unegal law JG, which a multi-site study of prevalence of fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. This thing is big. I think we need to learn more about these things, even at school. Now they say the recent community data from the Western Cape reporting extremely high weighted FASD prevalence estimates. That's 310 per 1,000. That's a huge number.
That's a huge number.
And then une ADB BO pooled prevalence of FASD nayo, and then London L, the top system. The top system is the ifana rotodi top is to China.
Yeah.
I think it's top, yeah, in Afrikaans street game. Yeah, so the top system, it means partly our current communities, they really got into the stop system, much of it, and Nabotaki would pick it up, the black side or the African side of South Africa. Yeah, the top and tot system. You know the word tot.
Do you think I'm a mixed breeds? Abana something weird about it?
That's a. I know what you want to say. Let's clean it up. You are pitching it in a wrong and do that. Multiracial, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong in the light of how you want to pitch it, because that's politically incorrect. So I have to stop you before you even continue, right? It's that, yeah, no, on a serious note. Here's why. Yeah?
And I understand where you're coming from.
Individually, we have every person has their own degree of volume of madness.
Yeah.
Every society or ethnic group has their volume of madness. Yeah. Blacks, they've got their own madness, which is, if you go to the subgroups, Amazulu, we have their madness that we can discuss about them.
Any human existence, whether human or animal.
Let's put it this way. Let's bring stereotypes, if you like.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Zulus, right? And they are what we see as social disorder. Inkani.
Whoa.
They are Inkani, and them resolving everything with confrontation, conflict.
Yeah.
Right? We see them as their deficiency. Right? The Pedis, we always say they are spies. They suck up to the authority, and they will put you under the bus easily. It's a stereotype. Yeah, it's a stereotype. I'm qualifying stereotypes.
Okay.
Here. And then Tswanas are not necessarily greedy, but they're stingy.
Yeah.
Right? Xhosas are 26.
Yeah.
in direct words, they are liars.
Yeah.
They lie
Easily.
And then colors are said to be violent, right? Even in the midst of love,
Yes.
there's violence, like throwing bottles, cursing words, those kind of things.
Yeah, that's what they are known.
So I was qualifying that each and every ethnic group, Indians are known to be selfish and manipulative.
Manipulative, yes.
Yes. Afrikaners are known to be cruel and cruel to the opposite side of the fence in terms of racial, you know. And if they don't like you, they like you. If they like you, they like you.
Yeah.
And English are pretentious.
Very pretentious, yes. The English
people. We know them to be said they are snakes.
The biggest snakes of them all.
So those are stereotypes.
They are not far away from the truth anyway.
Whatever. But I was trying to say it's not necessarily the issues of being a multiracial born individual that there will be situations with you. No, not a chance. We all have our own issues as a society or as ethnic groups.
Maybe we must do research and put it as a topic. But let's finish our desktop.
Yeah, that's a very sensitive one, by the way, to talk about the deficiencies of groups. It's very sensitive. We can discuss stereotypes maybe.
Yeah, we'll find a way to polish the.
And then there's Governor LP road traffic accidents still a challenge in South Africa. So road traffic accidents are also associated with this thing. And then Bruno Abraham's N 2425 association between alcohol use and femicides in South Africa, right? It's important that we do this. Femicide, the killing of women or girls. So feminists, it's the feminine femicide. Maybe this other.
I don't know this word.
Yeah, no, I want to bring it home.
Yeah.
What are Jews, Israelites accused of to the Palestinians?
Hostile takeover?
No, the same line of sight. There's this term.
I don't know the term.
Yeah, man, you know it. Come on, dude.
Which one? Which term are you talking about?
It's not family, but side.
Genocide.
Genocide, yes.
Oh.
Geography.
Yeah, geography.
And then uside, I think it's got to do with
okay. So yeah, the art here is to understand when to use the site and where.
Geocide,
geocide, femicide.
Yeah. And then there's a lot, but I want to go into then the top 10 countries by alcohol consumption per capita. I've explained the per capita. Yeah. Sechia, right? It's silent Z. And then it's 14.26 liters per capita of beer, right? And then Latvia is 13.9. I wonder where it is. 13.9 in terms of geography. Moldova is a country with 12.85. Germany 12.79.
I'm not surprised with Germany.
Lithuanians is 12.78. Ireland is they train those people. It's 12.75, right? Spain 12.67. Uganda is in the top 10. The African country that is in the top 10 of
Uganda is
consumption per capita. Is it the top 10? It's 12. Spirit Newa Waragi. I want to tell you Waragi is their local.
It must be their local
brewed.
Something local beer or a local
12.48. Bulgarians sound Scandinavians. If I'm not wrong, Scandinavians. 12.46, ne? And mostly wine. That they.
You know what? If you can check.
And Luxembourg. 12.45.
Most of these countries you've mentioned are mostly in Europe.
Yeah, they're Europeans.
Yeah, no, it's too cold there to be sober.
Yeah, we are in the And then there's this per capita is different from if you measure by total alcohol consumed volumes, right? If you do that, things change.
Okay.
Then if you rank it by total volume of alcohol consumed, you are in the entire country, the list will look different. China is number 1, United States, Russia, Brazil, Germany, India. Germany still is there, India, Japan, India.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Population, you must remember India has got a larger population than Africa.
It's not per capita, it's a whole entire.
That's why the Chinese are on top because their population.
Yeah, you're right. And then total liters that are consumed.
It's more people.
Yeah, not per capita. It's just the volume of alcohol drank. United Kingdom.
Yeah, UK. It has to be
France
there.
must be there. Mexico is number 10.
To speak like possible, you must. You can't be sober for that language.
You must be drinking.
There's a lot of in it.
Yeah. So, and then another thing, just the last take on the desktop is that if you go per province, which province do you think consume more alcohol in volumes?
You mean with us?
Capita,
With us?
In South Africa, yes.
In South Africa?
In the 9th province.
It's the province with the more development and more money.
Which is?
Gauteng.
Okay, good guess. Second?
Second would be Cape Town.
Western Cape.
Cape, yes.
Third?
KwaZulu-Natal.
No. Northern Cape.
Northern Cape?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you spoke about the ethnicities. Which one do you think consume more?
The Zulus.
Yeah. No. In terms of the top 4 groups in South Africa.
Blacks.
Colors.
Okay,
They are
small.
8.3%.
Are you sure? This is verifiable.
It's verifiable. It's cool. You can check it. You can quote.
Yeah.
You can quote me on this one.
Okay, it's fine.
It's fine.
I'll check it.
Yeah. Just double check. Right. Desktop research. It's telling me that we can. Okay, this is the countries. Let's see. Do we have to prove this now?
No, we don't have to do it now. We just out of curiosity.
Yeah, it's blacks, it's colored blacks, whites, and then Indians or Indians/Asians.
Yeah, well, Indians, it's not the number of Indians in South Africa is not.
And the desktop says, by and large, the ones that consume more or that are flirting more with alcohol, it's because of socio-economic stresses.
Of course.
And also the DOP system or the TOT system. DOP and TOT system.
Yeah, I think with the little I know about colors, I know
cultural norms.
I know
those are contributing factors. Cultural norms, DOP or TOT system, the economic stresses, socio-economic stresses.
Actually, I had a colored friend, I won't mention his name. I know colors are extremists in everything they do. This guy, we would drink together with him, we would get drunk. He would be the last man standing, and the first one to wake up when we have to go to work. I couldn't. Apart
from the colors, our guys, blacks, especially Xhosa types, the guys that went to study or high school, they were into these Model C schools, which is in the rugby with our fellow Porkies boys. Those guys drink. No, they come from a culture where you drink, you consume alcohol with apparatus.
There's competition.
Yeah, with apparatus.
Yeah.
Like you are from the army. So the boys that came from, raised by the army dads and that they've got a different attitude of play. But the thing is that they drink, wake up early in the morning, eat healthy and go exercise.
Well, I guess, yeah. Maybe.
Even boys that went to Model C schools, you won't drink with them, bro.
Yeah, no, you won't.
There's no way you can keep up with their drinking patterns.
They go with whites, and whites like to mix and go extreme.
They go extreme, like week in, week out.
Yeah, they do crazy things.
Funny thing, coming back to what you're saying, come
responsibility.
Yeah, they are there.
It kicks in.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
Yeah. So I respect those kind of people, by the way.
Yeah, hey, that skill, Baba, is worth respecting.
Yeah, there's very little damage that they are causing to the society in its entirety. 1 minute pitch. Let's set up the that
yeah.
was our desktop. Hopefully it added value and dimension in general. Let's go to the 1 minute pitch. You go first, bruh. Why are you drinking? Because I'm waiting for this one. I'm happening at 2 minutes. I wish I could just give you.
No, 1 minute is enough. I know exactly what I want to say.
I'm just kidding, man.
I know. Things I'm
Sweet and short of it.
The sweet and short of it is starting now. I'm still drinking because of my drink of choice. My first drink of choice is wine, and I've had the pleasure to understand how it's made. I've gone to the wine yards, and then I was impressed by the process and the health, and that it's good for your heart, for your blood circulation, and it is not meant for large consumption. It goes well with food. So yeah,
that's why I'm still drinking.
I'm still drinking wine because I love it.
Okay.
And I understand, and it's nice. It's lovely. Imagine you drink something from the mouth, but then you feel it in your spine.
Wow.
So wine, I love. It's my first drink of choice, and I'm not stopping it anytime soon. Yeah.
Okay. I still have 9 seconds. Why did I stop drinking? It goes as in now. Yeah. For me, there's this thing called hangover. I just couldn't deal with that thing. I did a calculation that if God has to give me life until say I'm 70, in my 70s, and then I did a calculation that was since 2011, I think, when I decided not to drink anymore.
Yeah.
And my calculation was too many number of weekends and days that I'll have to take myself to torture, and I could not stomach that. And besides, I realized that I've got social awkwardness that I numb with alcohol, and I wanted to deal with social issues or pressures or anxiety with that alcohol. It was another thing, a challenge to myself, and I think I'm doing reasonably well because I can socialize without much distress, even better than when I used to drink, by the way. So the reason was simple. I just couldn't torture myself, and I wanted to handle the social pressures and anxiety without alcohol. It was just to challenge my mind. So I really enjoy that. Thank you. So there we go.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
We've done our desktop. We've done our 1 minute. We've exchanged our ideas about the flight, and hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you learned something new from us today. You know, the making. We are still continuing, and yeah, please let's check the next flight, which is TM012, is
technology.
The technology gap between
Africa and the first world.
Africa and the first world countries.
Industrial revolution.
Yeah, hey.
That is going to be a beauty.
That one is going industrial revolution.
Looking forward to visit that destination.
Yes.
Industrial revolution.
Industrial revolution is our next flight.
Yeah.
And we will do our best to do justice to the flight as we always do. And as we are about to land, please fasten your seatbelt, keep your seats in an upright position, close your overhead storages, and thank you so much for being with us on this flight. Keep the independent thinking going on, keep the critical thinking going on as we land. Thank you. Anything from you?
To my stoic brothers and sisters, let's keep the stoicism going, and by so doing you will then credit us and subscribe. I think we've come to a realization that the numbers actually don't lie, so we don't want to tell any lies, and we want the numbers to tell the truth. And yeah, if you can do justice to that, notification pilot, the traditional issues, you know. And yeah, I guess that's it. And as we always do, say brother city. That's it.